Overall, what'd you think of the draft when you look at it as a whole? What kind of pops out? What comes to mind for you?
I kind of figured it wasn't the sexiest draft by far. You're not going to have one of those when you don't have a pick in the first 2 rounds. So you're kind of hoping to get some depth pieces. Obviously, 5 picks within the third and fourth rounds. They did a solid job there. The Martin Emerson pick was the one I was most curious with. I think the Troy Hill trade made that a little more palatable, knowing that Emerson may carve a bigger role, as a rookie than I originally thought, although I think he's more of a perimeter only corner. And I thought, honestly, after that pick, I thought the picks got better and better. I thought out of those first 5, Alex Wright, I really like, is a guy who has starter upside and has a really good frame. I think he can play at least a little bit right now, but ideally you want to maybe work him in slowly, get him coached up a little more, and hopefully in a year or two you have a starter opposite Myles Garrett, who's another imposing physical player. 99, David Bell. I know that was a favorite for a lot of Browns fans. I like the pick. I mean, it's one of those where you trust tape over, athletic traits and whatever. I mean, I know there's people saying, oh, it could be like Jarvis Landry. And, after rewatching some David Bell, I kind of agree with that, there's some ability. And I forget where I saw this, but there was also something about how they tracked David Bell on a GPS, and he got up to about 21 miles an hour on the field. So maybe he's just a guy that's faster on the field than he is, in shorts and a T-shirt running on a turf field. So there's a lot to like about David Bell's game. Obviously, Perion Winfrey in the 4th round, steal, should have been a 2nd rounder. And then Cade York, 124. Hopefully the Browns, they finally got the kicker they were going for. I know some people are questioning that. I don't know why. I mean, everybody knew the Browns needed a kicker. They were the team that needed one more than anybody, and they got the guy who was clearly the best one in the draft. So, with the picks they kind of had at the top, I thought they did a good job. It kind of petered out towards the end, but as I kind of sat there and watched the rest of the draft unfold after the 6th round, I think you were just kind of throwing darts at the dartboard. There really wasn't much that stood out as really exciting, or a player that, a team pick, you're like, oh my goodness, this was a guy I thought would have been a steal or whatever. There really wasn't one of those this year I thought that would have made sense for the Browns.